I went in for a job interview. Everything was going fine, and then he said, "Tell me about yourself." And I froze.
So you say you froze, but why?
Because, what was I supposed to say? How do you even answer that question? What do you even answer? What are you trying to say? What are you trying to? How do you answer that question?
Wow. Okay, it's all right. You're okay. You're in a safe place.
My personal brand.
Like my favorite designer.
Brand?
You caught me. I don't know.
How many brands of bottled water do you think there are? 20? There's over 1,000. Free out of the tap. You paid for it. Yeah, you refill it. Yeah. He wants to look cool on camera. I refill it. But here's the bottom line. If water can have a personal brand story, you have no excuse for not having one, right? I mean, what could be more boring or more mundane than water? You're a lot more exciting than water.
As the director of the Career Development Center here at Baruch College, we interact with over several thousand students every year. Where they need some assistance is how to present themselves. That will make them the desirable candidate for the jobs that they're seeking.
So a good brand elicits an emotion. A personal brand story makes your resume and your qualifications hop off the page, come to life. So by the time we're done today, when someone says to you, "Tell me a little bit about yourself," it'll be one of the easiest questions that you're going to get asked.
He takes them through a process of, first of all, just identifying some words and then putting them into statements and then telling a story about themselves. And that's a very good process for developing a personal statement.
Because the personal brand story we're talking about creating today is somewhere between 1 and 3 minutes. So write down 2 words that you feel best describes who you are. What would your best friend say about you? What would a relative say about you? What would a professor say about you? What would a recent boss say about you?
Can you use a noun?
Can you use a noun? No, you can't by a vowel.
He's meeting the students where they are right now in their career and professional development. He's not talking above their heads and he's not talking down.
You cannot be specific enough. Specific. So all of your words have to be followed with, for example. So you have to say, you know what, one of the things I really want you to remember about me is that I'm flexible. For example, this could be a personal story. It could be a professional story. It could be something that happened at work. It could be something that happened on a project in class. Give me words in a story that transfers to the workplace. Is it relevant? So it's either wow, interesting, or we can really use that here. So you start recognizing and reading back your story to yourself and working on this over the next couple of weeks. It's got to pass that test. Let me give you an example. Someone got up in front of the room recently, and it was a student, and it was a junior, and she said, I'm really resilient, and let me give you an example. My family is very fragmented. They live all over the country. Not only do they live all over the country, they barely talk to one another. And it was my goal over a 4 or 5 or 6 month period to put together the first ever family reunion. We had brothers that hadn't talked to sisters in decades. We had uncles and aunts that didn't know they had nieces and nephews. I got 87 people to Florida in June, but it took 722 phone calls. That's what I mean by resilience. That story led to her job. That story made the other person go, wow! But right, there was an attitude that you could see from that story. Like, we need that kind of person working at this company. You don't get that from a resume.
I think that much of what Eric's teaching is about self-evaluation. It's about knowing who you are. And so whether you use this actually in your profession or your business, it's just as important in your personal life.
Stick your chest out. Keep your head high. Smile on your face. This is who you are. This is what your accomplishments are. It's going to separate you from the pack. It's gonna make you memorable. It's gonna bring everything you've worked so hard for, right? That you've put on your resume that you're so proud of to life.
Whoa. Okay, I'm sorry, this interview is over.
What? Why?
I gotta start working on my personal brand story.